Hell, South Carolina, by Connor de Bruler. When Carlo returned to South Carolina, he was 23 years old. The low-country marshland beneath the iron bridges looked like pools of spilled crude oil in the dusk half-light. Clouds parted with twice the speed in the coastal breeze, hiding and then revealing the low arc of a chalk-colored moon. He drove further into the festering swampland toward a fractured coast. He was still in men's clothes as he drove, a faded nicotine-yellow t-shirt and dust-worn jeans, but his face still carried the remnants of makeup he hadn't tried his earnest to wipe away. Eyeliner still traced the irritated, sleep-deprived flesh above his lashes, and some smudged Revlon graced his lips like a wine stain. His aquamarine fingernail polish was chipped where he compulsively bit down on the tip, something that he had done since he moved to El Paso. He kept his suitcase in the seat beside him in the beat-up Honda. The suitcase belonged to his mother. He had stolen it. Arriving somewhere unfamiliar at night was like sneaking into a stranger's home. His old hometown ran on the southeastern schedule, and just as the communal energy began to settle, Carlo was out of sync. The lights of 24-hour drugstores and gas stations shined bright on his contracting pupils. The streets were empty. He rolled down the driver's side windshield to smell the salt and exhaust in the air. Blood on the night sky. He knew the difference between death and life. There was something supremely dead about this area. The windows of the double-wide were dark as if hollow inside. The palmettos shuddered in the wind, but the trees, the kind seen more often inland, were unmoving. A bad omen. He took a cigarette from the soft pack in the cup holder at his waist and lit the end with a weak flame from his neon Bic. He punched the cabin light and read over 2 addresses scribbled on the worn sheet ripped from a legal pad. His headlights dimmed until he shut off the cabin bulb. The battery and car around it was getting old. He headed down Red Bend Road and took a right at Chokecherry Lane. Carlo ashed the cigarette out the window with his left hand and steered with his right. In the headlights, he caught a glimpse of raccoons and possums scuttling around the woods and chicken wire fences. He hadn't heard the yapping of coyotes all night. It would take getting used to. He found the first address from the legal pad's hectic scrawl at the edge of the cul-de-sac of empty timeshare cabins garnished in a boathouse aesthetic. Lightning struck in the distance, illuminating the expanse of swampland beyond the small backyard surrounded in waist-high alligator fencing. The only house that had any activity was the squat ranch home at the cul-de-sac center. 2 cars sat in the driveway, a beige Impala and a black pickup truck. Warm red light pulsed on the heavy curtains. He parked in front of the mailbox to give the other cars enough space to pull out and sat in the darkness, smoking. It started to rain. He tossed the spent cigarette butt out of the car and lit another. He didn't bother to roll up the windows in the rain. He liked the way the rain felt on his face. He leaned back in his seat and stretched his legs. He had been driving for 2 days. He stopped for the night in Alabama, sleeping in the back of the car. A strip mall security guard knocked on the window around 6 a.m. and told him to get lost. He continued to wait. Early night turned into late night, and he lost patience. He took some personal things from the car, like a tube of lipstick and a bottle of pills, as well as his Bic and cigarettes, and shoved them into his pockets. He opened the glove compartment and took out a black wooden grip revolver and a box of .38 Special and stuffed them into the front zipper of his rolling suitcase. He had not stolen the pistol or the ammunition. His stepfather had given him the gun to take to the range when he was 17. He locked the car and took his suitcase up the shallow steps to the concrete patio in the rain. He rang the doorbell and knocked twice. Mistress Tildancia cracked the door open by a meager inch. The several chains hooked onto the doorsill divided her face. "It's Carlo," he said. "You're a day early. I've made good time coming from Texas. I'm with a client. You'll need to wait. I can crash on a couch or something. I run my business through most of my living space. Things aren't ready for you yet. Go around back. There's a hammock under the veranda. Give me at least 2 hours. All right." He went to the back and saw the hammock. What she called a veranda was an uneven slab of repurposed boardwalk below a corrugated tin roof. He set his suitcase behind the headrest of the hammock beside a dry spigot and the vine-eaten brick. He lay back, halfway sheltered from the rain, and breathed in the musk of the swamp air. Even in the rain, the still water gave off an odor. He fell asleep.